The old girl. She was very thin, grey hair, and each day she waited at the door of the First Interstate Bank in San Pedro. And as the people came and went, she approached them one by one, and she asked for money. About 75% of the time, I responded to those who asked me, but the other 25% I instinctively put off. I just don't have the will to give. The frail old woman at the bank, she just put me off. She had put me off for some time, and we had a silent understanding. I would lift my hand in a gesture of protest, and she would quickly turn away. This happened so often, and now she remembers and she doesn't even approach me. One noon I sat in my car and I watched her, and after 20 attempts, she scored 13 times. I drove off as she was approaching yet another soft touch. And even so, I suddenly felt real guilt for my unfeeling habit of refusing this old gal. Later at the clubhouse at Hollywood Park, between the 5th and 7th races, I saw her again. She was going up the aisle, frail and bent. A large wad of paper money clutched tight in her bony hand, clearly on the way to bet on the next race. Of course, she had every right to be there, to place her bet like the rest of us. She only wanted and needed what most people want and need, a chance. I watched as she reached the top of the aisle, and I saw her stop and speak to a young man who smiled and then handed her a bill. Not to be distracted, I rose and went to the betting window to place my own wager. And going back to my seat, as I went walking down the aisle, she was coming up. We saw each other, and without thinking, I held up my hand. Gently, in the most familiar gesture. She had seen it so often in front of the bank. She looked at me with unblinking blue eyes and said, "Fuck you," as we passed on the stairs. She was right, of course. It's a matter of survival. General Motors does it, you do it, the cat does it, so does the bird, the nations do it, families do it, I do it, the boxer sometimes does it. It's done when you buy a loaf of bread, it's done sometimes out of madness and fear. It's done in the doctor's office and in the back alleys. It's done everywhere, all the time, over and over again. And we all want to survive. It is the inevitable way, the familiar way, the way things work. I went back to my seat to ponder all that I had, but I couldn't come up with anything else at all. As the horses broke from the gate, hustled by the crouching jocks in their silks, orange, blue, yellow, shocking, pink, green chartreuse, stampeding rainbow of controlled fury. The sun shot through, screaming, and I suddenly knew that we're all caught forever in the self-same trap. And I instantly forgave that old girl for belonging. The Old Gal by Charles Bukowski.